If you like DIY, then you'll know how satisfying it is to fix something that's broken. If you want a bit of inspiration, we've got some great examples of makeovers. Make sure to watch this video to the end and see how you can fix a broken cell phone and make it beautiful. If this is your first time you've visited our channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. Today, we're looking at 15 genius people who fix broken stuff instead of throwing it away. DVDs fix a bird bath. When one wildlife lover bought herself a brand new bird bath, she thought she would be able to attract lots of feathered friends with her new purchase. Unfortunately, the bath fell down and broke. Rather than throw it out, she had a genius idea. She found a load of DVDs that she didn't want anymore and discovered that if you pull them apart, you can cut the shiny side into pieces. She did so, replicating the mosaic effect in the original bowl. Using grouting to help protect the bird's feet and the new colors, she made a bath that changes color depending on which angle you look at it from. The new piece could be considered an improvement on the original. Sure, the bird bath this woman bought was practical and attractive, but the repaired version seems more colorful and is definitely more unusual. Who knew those old computer DVDs could be so useful?
Hey guys, we are so excited to announce we are producing our own original content. Head over to The Trendy for the best DIYs, fashion tips, makeup hacks, and so much more. We are sure you're going to love it, and be sure to let us know what you think in the comment section. We love to hear from you. See you there.
See-through material repairs wooden chairs. There's something a bit special about old-fashioned wooden furniture. Whether it's something that reminds us of days gone by, or whether it's something that gives a room a real retro feel, some people wouldn't get anything but what happens when it breaks? You'd think you wouldn't be able to save a wooden chair that had bits missing, right? But artist Tatiana Freitas does something out of this world. Rather than throw the furniture away or else try to fix it with bits of wood that don't quite fit right, she uses see-through acrylic to repair things. The end result is stunning. Like a chair with bits missing that actually ends up working absolutely perfectly and looks like a wonderful piece of art at the same time. Tatiana's work has been exhibited all over the world, although we'd hope people who saw her pieces got the ideas to fix their old furniture too. Hole becomes artwork. One of the worst things you can do in your home can be making a hole in the wall. If you rent, there's a good chance your landlord will take the cost of fixing it from your deposit. Well, if you own your home, it'll cost a lot of money to repair it. But what if you saw the opportunity to create your own work of art? That's what one person did when her boyfriend fell down the stairs one Thanksgiving. Rather than spend the time and effort trying to get the wall where he put his hand through back to pristine condition, she had another, better idea. Using a stylish black picture frame, she surrounded the hole and put up a plaque saying, "First Thanksgiving 2015. Medium, hand drywall." Just think about it. It turns what could be a pretty nasty defect in your home into an absolutely awesome work of art. Broken flower pot becomes miniature garden. Gardeners know that a key part of making a garden look pretty is the humble flower pot. But what happens when one of them breaks? Pretty cheap to replace, so you just throw it out and get a new one, right? But one green-fingered wizard had just the right idea for reusing them. She washed them and placed the bits that had fallen off inside the shell of the old pot and stuck them together. Then the real magic started to happen. She used different types of soil to create a range of layers that could sustain a variety of different plants. After that, she got a ladder from an old doll's house and set them up between the different layers where the little plants would blossom to create an appearance of a beautiful miniature fairy garden. So if you find that bad weather is causing your flower pots to break, don't despair, because you can have a lovely new little garden. Lace dollies save a couch. Cat owners love their pets so much. They bring so much joy into people's lives, but one of the risks of having a cat is their fondness for scratching furniture. Let's face it, couches are very expensive. But if your kitty claws enough at one, it can rip the fabric and leave the filling exposed, which in turn makes your living room look bad. So, how do you solve the problem? What one ingenious person did seems simple, but super effective. They bought some lace dollies and dyed them to match the fabric of the damaged sofa. Then they carefully sewed them into place, meaning their old sofa looked even better than it did before. The settee's plain appearance was transformed into something way more intricate and pretty. And it didn't cost too much either. So you don't have to choose between your beloved cat and your nice, stylish furniture anymore. Turtle power saves a wall. Fans of the iconic 90s TV smash hit kids cartoon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, will remember the heroes in a half-shell climbing out of the New York sewers to battle with the evil Shredder, his goons Bebop and Rocksteady, and his boss Krang. However, one smart person got them climbing out of his wall and fixed up an unsightly hole in the process. This guy saved the wall, which had been busted up by water damage, by putting in toys of Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo climbing out of the gap. In doing so, he managed to turn something that would have otherwise looked really bad into an awesome feature for his home. Cowabunga, dude! Seriously, this guy's idea is fantastic. We wonder which classic TV characters would you use to fix a wall? And who is your favorite turtle? You can tell us in the comments below. Fix holes in jeans with a cool patch. Perhaps the single most ubiquitous item of clothing today is the pair of jeans. Think about it. You've probably got a pair, and pretty much everyone you know does too. So we all know that sometimes denim, a pretty sturdy kind of fabric, can wear out, especially at the knees. Now, you might want to keep your jeans with a hole in them so you can have an old school grunge rocker look, and that's awesome. But what if you want to fix the hole? One woman came up with a look that blew our minds. Her partner's jeans had a hole in the knee, so she turned the gap into a monster's mouth. She used corduroy and felt to create it, turning an old pair of jeans into an awesome, cartoony, and unique new pair. Let's be honest, we think we'd all ask the guy where he got his fantastic jeans from if we saw him wearing them. Give a cracked mirror a border. The old superstition says that you get 7 years bad luck if you break a mirror, and it's certainly a massive inconvenience. You have to make sure that the place where you broke it is clear of broken glass before you throw it out and buy yourself a brand new one. But what if you could fix it? That'd be pretty cool. And the great news is you don't have to be a professional glazier to do it. One woman did exactly that when she bought a mirror that had a crack in it. She used her smarts to find herself some little tiles that could cover up the damage. And using some silicone adhesive, she gave her new mirror a special and unique makeover that made it stand out from the crowd. We wonder though, how could she focus on her reflection when she managed to fix herself up? Such a special piece of art. Save jumpers with patches. Anyone who has some nice woolen items of clothing can tell you two things. Firstly, how wonderfully warm, comfy, and stylish they are. And secondly, the dangers posed to them by moths. Those little critters are able to eat large holes in them, turning your lovely old jumper into what looks like it could just be a horrible mess. And the holes can't really be darned properly, so you have to throw them out. That is, unless you're one very smart lady who counteracted the insect damage with a whole new style. She got herself some patterned material from an old item of clothing and cut it up into the shape of a bird and sewed it on. This meant she didn't have to get rid of the sweater and indeed made it look cooler and more interesting than before. But you don't have to use a bird shape. Why not tell us what shape you'd use to hide the moth holes? Make a chair good as new with belts. If you're setting up a home of your own for the first time, there's a good chance you'll want to make every penny count. So what to do if you've got what would be a stylish and useful chair, only the bit that you sit on is broken? For one young couple in Florida, the answer was stunningly simple and meant some old bits of furniture didn't have to be thrown away. A family member had some chairs with the seats missing, so they took hold of those and hit thrift shops to buy as many old belts as they could find. Then they stretched the belts across the chairs, tightened them up, and screwed them in. It took the two a long time, but when they were done, they had some awesome and unique chairs. Here's a tip if you want to do what they did. Make sure you're careful when you're drilling the holes to screw the belts into. Heels sparkle with glitter and glue. High-heeled shoes can look absolutely stunning, but everyone knows who owns a pair knows of the risk, not to mention the cost, of them getting damaged. But it would be a terrible shame to have to throw away a lovely pair of shoes, especially if you could fix them and make them as good as new, or even better than new. That's what one smart and talented woman did to her old pair. Rather than throw them out when the heels got damaged, she decided to sparkle them up. Using nothing more expensive than some glue and some glitter, she got them back up to scratch. She mixed the glue with the glitter to make a thick paste. Then she applied it to the damaged part of the shoe. Once she had done that a couple of times and left it to dry, her once seemingly broken and scuffed shoes were beautiful, sparkly, and even more glamorous than when she first got them. Damaged car saved by art. A car is every owner's pride and joy. It's one of the most useful things you can buy, but it's also one of the most expensive. And when you have to get patrolled and have it serviced, the cost can really add up. So what to do if another vehicle scrapes against your motor, leaving it with unsightly scratches, dents, and cuts? Most people would be tempted to cut their losses, scrap it, and get a new one. But one Russian guy had a different idea. His car looked awful after a truck scraped up against it. He took a permanent marker pen and created an awesome work of art. A map with the dent caused by the collision transformed into a breathtaking lake. And there was some good news. The lorry driver paid for the man to get his car fixed. If that car was ours, maybe we'd have kept the beautiful work of art. Vases fixed with golden thread. A vase is something that can be both useful and beautiful. If you'd like to keep flowers indoors, there's nothing better, and a lovely design can draw attention to your plants. But most vases are made of china, and china breaks. However, there is one genius artist who makes things even more beautiful than they were before. Charlotte Bailey of Brighton, England, uses an ancient Japanese art called kintsugi to help repair her vases. Charlotte wraps the broken pieces in fabric before using outstanding gold metallic thread to sew them back into place again. However, it's not something if you're looking for a quick fix for a broken item. The smaller works in her collection took her as long as 5 hours to do, while the repairs for a larger piece can take several days. But looking at these beautiful works of art, you'd have to say it was worth it. Save broken mug handle with clay. Whether you prefer coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, the chances are that you drink them from a mug. But what happens if the handle gets broken on one of your favorite drinking vessels? Rather than throw it out, you could do what one artistic and creative person did and make it a new, more interesting sort of handle. Using some polymer clay, they didn't just cover the bits of the handle that were missing, they improved it too. In this example, what had previously been a plain red mug became something far more seasonal and festive, with the polymer painted and molded into the style of a sprig of holly. But there are lots of other ideas that could work too. So in some ways, getting damaged was the very best thing that could have happened to the mug. We wonder what sort of design you'd have for your brand new handle. Make a broken cell phone colorful. One of the most exciting and cool pieces of technology we have is the smartphone. The whole world is at your fingertips and in your pocket. Pretty cool, yeah? But what happens if you drop the phone and your back gets damaged? It can be kind of expensive, not to mention horrifically inconvenient, to go and get it repaired or even replaced. Well, someone had the same problem and came up with a totally ingenious way to save his phone. He used a highlighter pen to draw all over the back. Then he rubbed the excess ink off with a paper towel. The ink stays in the cracks, but manages to rub off the rest of the back. Then, to make sure that he didn't get his fingers cut by the glass, he covered it with a piece of clear packing tape. The end result was a vibrant, funky, and cool-looking mobile phone that would certainly have turned the head of anyone who saw it. What colors would you use? Tell us in the comments. And that's it for 15 genius people who fixed broken stuff instead of throwing it away. If you liked this, why not check out 10 hot glue gun life hacks for crafting? Make sure you subscribe to us for more videos like it, and thanks for watching.